fitted a new tyre to the front of my wave. It's a cheap and nasty one I brought off Lazada, 349 baht, but I also brought a new tube because I put a bigger tyre on, so therefore I have to put the bigger tube. I have some old tubes laying around because before I buy about 20 tubes, but now they're all too old. Okay, so when you do fit a tyre, be aware that it'll be on there in English, it'll say tube type, obviously the size, I put a slightly bigger size, and you have this arrow, that's the rotation the tyre goes, and you need at least 4 ply for a motorbike. This is just to say a cheap and nasty one. Not that anything's cheap in Thailand now. Anyway, the one advantage of the cheap and nasty ones is I just took off this Michelin, and on the Michelin it's got a piece behind here, there's a piece of steel. When this hasn't got air in it, you can still more or less run it for, I would say, about 50 kilometers without doing any damage even to the tyre or anything. But the handling, it's like, I mean, that it's got no air in it, and it feels like it's got at least 1.5 bar in it. It's horrible. But because I put a bigger tyre on the back of my Honda Wave, and this is the original size on the front, that also affects the handling. But that one, that Michelin one, I think maybe, I could look at the date on it, but I can't be asked to work it out. But maybe that'd been in the storeroom for 5 or 6 years before I brought it, judging by the quality of the rubber. Let's say this one is a cheap and nasty. It's going on the front. It's supposed to have come from China, but it says made in Thailand, so it will be cheap and nasty, made in Thailand. But they have lots of rubber in Thailand. I don't know why the quality isn't slightly better, but it's not. But it's okay, because the cheap and nasty ones sometimes grip better. I mean, the expensive ones last longer, but that's because they're made of harder rubber. Sometimes the cheap and nasty ones actually last longer. I had one of these on the front of my Click. I think it lasted about 7,000 kilometers on the front. And this Wave eats tyres for some reason. But it's only to get me to the village and back. So provided it does its job. If it doesn't work, then this one will end up on the back, and then I get the original size one on the front, which then I have to change the gearing on the back, because I have sidecar gearing on the back, which is okay with the bigger size tyre, but it's not actually that much bigger, so maybe I change the gearing anyway when I get back to the village. It's only about 150 baht for because I've got the thicker cog, because I've got the thicker chain. Maybe it's about 150 baht and a couple of hours work putting it on. Maybe it'd go a bit faster top speed then, but it doesn't rev up in 4th gear, so I think there's nothing to be gained, because I carry a little bit of weight on it when I carry shopping, and I'm 100 kilo, and sometimes I take my wife on the back, and when we go shopping in Namrong, which is 50 kilometers away, sometimes I have to carry a little bit. So two extra teeth on the back cog ain't gonna make much difference. Well, it does actually, but it makes about 5% difference. I think I've got 48 instead of 46, so what's that? That's 2% in it roughly. So I can live with that, that's not important. But I'd like to get the right size cog, because I'm not towing a sidecar, so the right size gear on the back would be beneficial. But this is as cheap as tyres come now in Thailand, and that's from Lazada, 349 baht. And the size is 80/90/17, which is the standard back size, the back wheel size, back tyre size for a Honda Wave. On the front they normally have 70/80/14. But on the back of it now I've got a 90/80, sorry, not 14, 17. I've got a 90/80/17 on the back, which is about 8 or 9 centimetre different, I suppose. Anyway, this is going on the front now, and then I shall punt up the back tyre and give it a little test and see how it goes. I'm okay with that. I'm happy now my tyre come. Bung that on the front of there, and I should be well happy if it all works out, because I go on the long run to the village on this one and fill up the basket. Under the seats probably got another few kilo. Sometimes I put something on the basket there, me 100 kilo. So I need to be able to go over the bumps and the potholes, and just go it as safe as I can. That's all I can do. So yeah, that's about it. These Honda Waves are quite good, but don't park it anywhere, especially at night, because it might not be there when you get back, because the Thai taxi drivers love these, and they love them. This is like the most reliable 125cc bike you can buy, and it's probably the most economical, but the click is very close. There's only a couple of kilometers a litre difference. The click's a lot easier to drive, and they're both as reliable as you need. I suppose in the old days when they say, like, you got Morris mine 1000, it's reliable. It used to break down a lot, but it was reliable because you could fix it easily. And I suppose this would be more easy to fix than a Honda Click. And Honda Wave 125, you can buy spares more or less anywhere in Thailand, which even now the Honda Click, some of the spares are hard to get. They really are hard to get, and they must sell 1 million a day. I don't know how many they sell, but they sell a lot. I mean, 1 in every 4 bikes you see in Thailand is now a Honda Click. There's just as many Clicks as there is Waves, I would imagine. And they're still hard to get spares for. But saying that, if you go into the shop, maybe you get the spare, but I like to do my own repair, and I like to just buy the spare part, and maybe they get the ump over that. But even when I just buy the spare, if I buy this tyre, fit it myself, it's the same price as if I buy it and they fit it. The only one what's different is if you get the back one, then maybe they charge an extra 50 baht to fit a back one. But they charge you for taking it off, which is okay. But even when I don't get them to take it off, they still charge. Why that is, I don't know. So I buy from Lazada. They only have one price. That's if you repair it yourself. Yeah, funny lot, but okay. They don't think us foreigners can repair bikes. I think the same about them. What they say, when a Thai man says fix your bike, they maybe fix one thing, but for sure you have 2 other things go wrong. Okay, that's it for today. I've got to put the tyre back on and test it.